country as such. And in turn, sign the certificates of the certifying authorities. Basically, there are people who are licensed. They follow certain procedures and programs and methods, methodologies which you follow them. Their certificates are being signed by the controller of certifying. That is, my signature is there to certify this is what who claims to be. The certifying authorities, in turn, issue the certificate to the individuals through registration agents. And each of the certifying authorities basically define the way they are going to do the processes. They are called certificate practice statement, which they establish and is vetted and audited by me before issuing a license to them. That's what it is. That's how the trust chain is there. The trust chain in this country is a hierarchical, the controller certifying authority, certifying authorities, and the entities through either agents or registry agents or sub-CAs, etc. That's the whole chain which we operate. That's the chain which has been accepted, and that's the chain which we perform. Today, there are about 7 certifying authorities are there which issue the certificates, and each certifying authority clearly defines to whom they are going to provide the services. One is the TCS, provides to everybody and every applications. Then E-Mudra is another company which provides, is based in Bangalore, and Encode Solutions, which is based in Ahmedabad. Then we have SIFI, which is located in Chennai, and then NIC, and the IDBRT, and some other organizations. There are 7 organizations which provide you the digital certificates to the individuals to perform this particular thing. This is the structure, this is the mechanisms to do that. And this is basically the methods, the methodologies which we follow is the standards which have been specified. The digital signature uses a particular public key infrastructure. It's a very specific technology which has been used, and usually the act should not specify a specific technology. But whatever may be it, information technology clearly defines what PKI is there. So is a technology-oriented act initially when it's introduced in 2000. But subsequent to that, we recognize, and 2008 modification, we use the word called electronic signatures. We use the word electronic signature, and digital signature is an electronic signature. And presently, this is the only electronic signature which is there as per the Information Technology Act. We still have to come up new methods and methodologies. When it comes there, we create the process and procedure of issuing the electronic signatures which are there. This is basically the structure, the procedure which you follow. And people will say that we are talking about biometrics. Why not use a biometric? Biometrics usually identify the persons. Remember, the biometric is basically, look at it, is a process by which individual characteristics are associated, and the biometrics can only identify the individuals. It cannot create the integrity of the information. Biometric, because when you use the biometric, you are only accessing the facilities. But the information that is generated, information that is transferred cannot be authenticated or verified by the biometric signature. So biometric features which are there is only facilitates you to access that particular information, but does not in any way provide the integrity of the content. Because in the public key infrastructure, on the digital signature, we use the encryption technology, which basically encrypts the contents of using your private key and then transmits it to the other side. That's the reason it is a function of the private key and the content. That's the outcome is the digital signature. Today, we follow a size of 1024 bits. Out of this, 512 is your private key, and 512 bits are your public key. The key pair is unique and is generated by the individual. Each individual has to generate his key pair when he gets a certificate of that particular thing. And his public key, which is the second part of the key pair, is published into the document giving you details of those particular things. So that's basically happens. So your private key has to be stored secondly in a crypto device if you are doing for secure operations. That's what, again, the standards are defined. We currently follow the key size of 1024 and SHA-1. From 1st January 2012, we are moving over to a key size of 2048 and SHA-2, basically hashing algorithm which we perform this thing. And this is the asymmetric technology which we follow. This is mathematics. And each of these, the technologies have certain limited life. That is the reason we continuously monitor on the cyberspace and other areas. If there is any problem which is taking place, then we switch over from the existing methods to the new methods. In addition to the RSA algorithms, We also permit elliptical curve and other technologies. These are all very well specified, and you can look at these details of those if you want the standards and specifications, the methods and mechanisms which we have defined in the cca.gov.in. You can see in the website of ours, which will get all the details and various operations. We also looked at it, the using of your digital signature into the mobile communications. As mobile things goes under operation, how to operate, how to do that. We did create a white paper on this particular thing, and people can look at it and give comments on that particular. This is what we are trying to promote, because as we get along into the cyberspace and we start using the mobile devices, you need to put protection to this particular thing. We suggested a couple of technologies. One of the technologies is crypto SIM card, which can be used where you can generate your key pair. And secondly is a proxy SIM card, which can be put on any one of the existing, what we call the mobile phones, whether 1,000 mobile phone or 10,000 mobile phone. On the top of it is called a proxy SIM card, which has the processors to generate your key pair and store it and do the signing activity which can be performed. And third method, which we also suggested, is the crypto, basically the memory card, which can be put in the part of those things. These are some of the methods which have been suggested by us, and some of these methods has been experimented and tried in the various financial applications. For example, in Taiwan and China, they use it. But at the end of the day, the highest level of security as of today for the transaction which you perform only is provided digital signature. There is no other technology today that gives you the trust and security for you to perform transactions. It's very, very essential to notice that. We do not know tomorrow, but today it gives it. But when you're using the digital signature, when you're trying to sign digitally a particular document, certain process and procedures needs to be followed. If you don't follow it up, you don't have the security. And finally, you can also say that digital signatures are better than your handwritten signatures. Do you agree with that? Yeah. The reason is, in physical signature, you can repudiate it. It's not my signature. So you go to the court of law and do that. Whereas, in the case of digital signature, the act doesn't give you that permission. Once you sign it, you're legally bound. All the sins you committed or whatever you have done it's yours, you have to own it. You cannot go to a court of law saying that this is not digitally signed by me. So remember that when you're getting a digital signature certificate and you're trying to use it up, please keep it in a safe place. Do not store it on laptop. Do not store it on any other device except on a crypto device. When you're trying to perform your functions, please use that particular thing. So basically we are looking at what I see, what I have, what I know. These are the three fundamental principles which you follow in electronic transactions, the basic principles which is used for electronic sanctions to be used. So we store our device, we store our private key, and we use the biometrics of PIN number to access it and my number. So this is what I see, what I have, what I know. These are the fundamental principles which you apply for us to operate. This is basically gives you the idea about what the digital signature is all about it and how we operate in the system. One of the things which I was trying to see that is today the digital signature are extensively used in variety of applications. One of the most important applications which is revolutionizing in the procurement system in the government sector is the e-procurement area. Most of the government uses e-procurement through digital signatures. Central government, the state government, Andhra Pradesh started this particular activity. So e-procurement is another. Another area which will also be extensively used is the DGF&D foreign trade, import, export licenses are digitally signed and is provided. So all transactions, you don't have to physically visit DGTF offices. You can do that. Interbanking transactions are used by using a digital signature. DGS&D uses the digital signature. So these are some of the various. And finally, railways, any agent booking uses the digital signature. That gives the trust and the mechanism for you to perform. So I'm going to go in next stage, how the digital signatures play a very important role. Because in all these applications which I mentioned, the number of people who use are very few. Okay, right? Not many. But if you want to go to the large numbers, the retail market is the financial sector. And financial we are talking about the banking sector. The banking sector, internet banking or trading, these are some of the applications which has major applications. Your user number, passwords, or you are talking about OTPs does not provide you security. Most of us use the credit card. We so beautifully use it for all our transactions. Credit card, you go to there and ask the fellow, ask you to put on the website what is the CVV number. When you do a transaction with a credit card, you go to the restaurant and give the credit card to him. So he knows your credit card number pretty easily. Remembering the 3-digit number is not a big deal, right? So there is no security. Further, a credit card can be easily be copied in a matter of few seconds. There are devices which are there. Without physically looking at your credit card, I can copy the content of those. Using my picture, I can create a credit card and perform the transaction. This is very, very easy to perform. So credit cards are not secure. So OTP number is all dead technology. And we also talk about sometimes on web pages, virtual keyboards and all those things. It really does not protect you from doing any transaction. The only today highest level of security to perform as per United States also is the digital signature for you to perform the transaction. That gives you guarantee for you to support. But if you don't follow certain procedures, that also doesn't give you the protection. Suppose you store your private key on the laptop. Laptop can easily be hacked. I think you're going to give the demonstration how to hack that particular system. And you can copy your private key. Once the private key is copied, you can do the performance. So unless you take a certain precaution, responsibility to the user of keeping the private key is very, very essential. That's what it is. That's what you have to take care. And most of the time, people do not recognize the importance of those things. I know lots of companies, I know lots of users, high-end users, they keep their private key onto the laptop or some other storage device which can be easily copied. I think this is very, very essential. In our country, we are given a directive, in fact, an order which has been given by me. If you are trying to do class 2, class 3 level of certificates, for digital certificates you are trying to take, it has to be in a crypto token of a particular standard which has to be mentioned by us. Those are only the devices which can be used to store your thing. The second aspect is that we also emphasize the individual users to generate the key pair. We do not want you to somebody else to generate, because if you give away a private key, the whole security is gone down the drain. This is in scenario, the scenario which you are operating. This is the scenario which we are trying to do that. It is a scenario which we see that. In world over, there are lots of applications which are going on. You can see China. We have India is now trying to work out with collaborations with other countries so that my signature, that is the CCA signature, is recognized elsewhere in the world to perform the international transactions also. We have a setup with Mauritius. Mauritius and legal agreement is there between the two of us. We exchange our CCA keychain. In fact, I act as the CCA for Mauritius government also. So this is the keychain which you